I want you to listen to this interview with a Republican congressman on a liberal talk show, and then we'll take it from there.
Follow up on Congressman Andy Barr from here in Lexington. He gave an invitation to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to visit Kentucky and visit a coal mine. But now Barr's put a stipulation and says he will not invite her unless she first apologizes to Texas Representative Dan Crenshaw. Congressman told the former Navy SEAL that he should focus on domestic terrorism after he slammed a Minnesota lawmaker who said something about 9/11, saying that some people did something, back and forth. Barr says Ocasio-Cortez is an example of the lack of civility in Washington. Now, leaving aside the woman's comments, Omar and Crenshaw, is it really, Congressman, this just a way for Andy Barr not have to bring Cortez to Kentucky?
Well, I like Andy, and I think his heart's in the right place. He's a defender of coal and really wants to try to bring people in that are against coal. But I don't see any upside to bringing Ocasio-Cortez in. I think...
Why not? I mean, okay, so here's, as a progressive in Kentucky, one of the things when I talk to people in New York City and places like that, they don't even really get coal miners. They don't realize that coal miners have been hurt by the ending of coal. Isn't it possible that you bring that woman here and she sees it and maybe she looks at it differently?
It's possible, but not likely. I think she's pretty set in her ways. I think she's very intelligent. I think a lot of Republicans are making a mistake picking on her. The other two freshman female legislators that are in the news a lot, Iliad and Omar, I think that's fair game for Republicans to pick on. But Ocasio-Cortez has a movement of millennials that follow her. Ocasio-Cortez is a lot more prepared when she comes to committee meetings, for example.
You said that to me that she's really smart.
She is smart, and I think that we need to be very prepared when we debate her on issues that we're having a hard time with. You know, there's still a future for coal, but we need to make sure that we're debating the right people on that issue.
First of all, Congressman Barr thought he was doing something slick, right? He was going to bring this little young lady from New York, this amateur from New York. He was going to bring her and take her to Kentucky to a coal mine, and likely was going to set her up and have her sitting down around a whole lot of coal miners, and these coal miners were going to give them a piece of their minds as far as why is she so against coal and why is this Green New Deal going to do all these things to hurt them. But what they are starting to realize is that this woman is no joke. And this is something that I've been saying all along. I write a whole lot about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and what I've been writing in blogs all along is that she's a very smart woman. And not only is she smart, but she is always prepared. Every congressperson in every one of the meetings would tell you that she comes to those meetings prepared. She comes prepared, she knows her material, and if you see her when she's on stage or wherever, you ask her a question. She came here to Austin, Texas. They asked her questions. She is always on point, and she knows the material. So now the Republicans are starting to realize that, and they're saying, oh my God, we don't want to have her be in these meetings with us when she's putting her point of view across, because it turns out people then like it. People then realize, oh my God, that is right. Think about what Alexandria Cortez is doing. This congressman would have made the mistake, brought Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to a state, into Kentucky, and what she would have done is she would have shown that she cared more about those coal miners than their own congressperson. Their congressperson cared more about the person who owns the coal mine, who was then allowed to dump those coal ashes into streams, who was allowed to strip mine, who were allowed to do all these things that hurt these people's standard of living. And this congressman, in as much as they're passing laws to allow for more dirty streams, for more dirty air, what are the results of those things? Poor health. And at the same time, they don't want to cover pre-existing conditions. At the same time, they don't want to cover Medicare for all. So just imagine the two of them doing a press conference after she visits a mine. Congressman Barr, you brought her into your state. What do you think? Well, I wanted her to see why we need to have coal, because she can see the workers. There are a lot of workers that need employment and they need a good salary. And Alexandria Cortez comes back and says, yes, but you know, it is great. But the Green New Deal that we're trying to do, what it will do is all these coal miners that are working underground, getting their lungs filled with black lung, our policies has several features that would help them immediately. One, we are doing green energy, which means we are going to build a factory in your neighborhood. Your factory will pay more than what the coal miners are making underground. And you know what we want to do for them? All the black lung disease that they would get underground. We want to give them the ability to get health care that doesn't broke them, that don't cause them to go bankrupt. Now think about that now. She will immediately go into his district and show that she cares more about his constituents than he does. And that is why you heard the congressman on the show that I just played for you said something very important. Oh no, we don't know what it serves to bring Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez into that Kentucky district. And the reason why is because it would show that her policies are more in line, would more support their constituents than the others. So let's be real. That is what it is all about. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, very smart, and not only smart, but now the Republicans are starting to realize that they just may have made a mistake in actually attempting to demonize her. Because as they demonize her, she actually shows her prowess, which right now are millennials, and she shows she's not just the face of an activist. This is one activist that knows the material. That is the most dangerous activist there is.